Hey guys, and today we're going to be taking one last look at the Nintendo 3DS eShop. I did a video on it for the Wii, and now it's time for the 3DS's turn. So they're both going to be shut down the same date, the 27th of March. So, without further ado, let's go. But before we go into the eShop, I know I said without further ado, but this is what I meant. The theme shop is also going to shut down on the 27th, so might as well take one last look at that. Of course, you can see I have the Xenoblade Mechonis theme because Xenoblade's my favorite game of all time. But I also have a variety of Mario ones, as well as a Smash Brothers one. But let's see what they have on the theme shop real quick. Man, I really do miss menu music. The free downloads are always cool. Because, you know, you don't have to pay any money. Even though it's just like a couple dollars for most of the themes. At least I think that's going based off of my memory. Oh yeah, and I also have an old 3DS model, so the circle isn't here. And it also takes a very long time to load. So apologies in advance. We have Etrian Odyssey, Shin Megami Tensei, Strange Journey, and Radiant Historia. That's like one of the best games on the 3DS. I didn't know they had a theme. Nice. And just like the Wii U eShop, I'm not going to buy anything because I pretty much have everything that I want. But yeah, might as well take one last look around, you know. These are the only free themes? Well, at least Radiant Historia is on here. Couldn't recommend that game enough, really. Best sellers. Zelda, Pokemon, of course. Those are always going to top the charts of whatever thing. So yeah, about like $2 for each theme. There's also the Xenoblade Monado theme. I didn't get this one. Ah, this is the artwork. Okay. Gaur Plains. Maybe I should have bought this one. But I still like the one that I have the most. Snake Eater. I keep forgetting that has a 3DS port. Lots of Fire Emblem too and Sonic. Gunvolt is here too, I didn't expect that. Devil Survivor 2 is on the best sellers? That's pretty cool. Pikachu's Cry, does that like play Pikachu's Pika over and over on the home screen, or? There's a Mario Odyssey theme? If this thumbnail is any indication. Oh, Radiant Historia. Great. Story of Seasons. AKA Harvest Moon. At least that's what it was used to be called. Wow, they have Gurumin on the main thing? I also forget this one has a 3DS port as well. Right? Yeah, this game. Nihon Falcom. And it's free too. Nice. I'm seeing a lot of themes here that I wouldn't normally expect, which is pretty cool to see. I kind of wish the Switch had themes as well. It'd be great if they had like those custom sound effects and the background music. course, we got a lot of Smash Bros. Themes. Designs and patterns, retro free download themes for kids. Hopefully they don't show 02 on one of those themes, because that would definitely not be for kids. No Kirby 64, Crystal Shards. Got the classic Famicom Mario Brothers. Oh yeah, a bunch of NES themes. $25. I don't hate the 25M theme, but I'm kind of annoyed whenever it shows up in Smash Bros. Because it's such a short loop. Like, the song lasts like 5 seconds, and when you have other Donkey Kong themes like Sticker Brush Symphony and Crocodile Cacophony, you know, that could play on that stage, why pick 25M? Okay, a bunch of Halloween and Christmas ones, because those are the only 2 holidays that are recognized anymore for some reason. Kind of wish there were some Thanksgiving themes, but I guess not. I guess it's just a personal favorite holiday of mine. But yeah, as you can hear, the themes have the special sound effects and background music, and I also have some badges here. Oh yeah, I remember the little jingles. On each of the icons. Oh yeah, I loved the Street Pass Quest mini game in this game. I loved that game. It's Find Me in the Americas, by the way. Which is the one that I'm, Oh yeah, Face Raiders, right? Why do I have Rosalina's face there? I guess... Oh well. Activity log? Great. I never really got the thing of the Nintendo Zone. I used to play download play with my friends, I know. Ooh, Mario Calculator. System settings. And I know, I'm sorry, I'm taking a while to get around to it, but I just want to check around at what I have here before jumping right in. I'll probably give a timestamp in the description in case, you know. Yeah, oddly, even though Xenoblade is my favorite game, I don't have the new 3DS, so I can't play it on the 3DS. Which kind of makes me regret not getting a new 3DS when I could have, but oh well, I have it on the Wii U and the Switch, so it's all good. Anyway, let's head into the eShop now, without further ado, shall we? I know it's gonna take a while. Hopefully it doesn't show my password or anything here. Again, sorry for the long loading times, but we're here. Unique music. This isn't the one on the Wii U eShop, so yeah. I'm not as dexterous with the 3DS eShop as I am with the Wii U because I played the 3DS a lot less than the Wii U, so forgive me if I take it a little slower than I did on the Wii U. But as we can see here, we have some of the final 3DS games released by Nintendo, first party. Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, Bowser's Inside Story, plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey, and Luigi's Mansion, port from the GameCube. All three of them are ports, though, they're not original titles. This one's kind of a remake, but it's mostly upgrade graphics and, you know, extra quest. Nintendo Selects. As we did with the Wii U, let's start with this. Mario Maker for the 3DS. $20. Is it really that cheap? I don't remember it being that cheap. But, Majora's Mask 3D, another good game. Star Fox 64 3D, I prefer the original, but it's a decent experience. 3D Lands. I like 3D Worlds more, but I always have this, I don't know, I always feel more nostalgic from 3D Lands for some reason. Link Between Worlds, I haven't played. Ultimate NES Remix, this wasn't on the Wii U. I guess it's 1 and 2 together with some extras or something. But yeah, I never really got around to that, so that's unfortunate. New Leaf. I haven't really played Animal Crossing at all. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, I hear it's the worst of the 3 Luigi's Mansions, but I haven't heard that it's bad, if that makes sense. Ocarina of Time, my favorite Zelda game of all time, and that's an opinion you'll hear that many people have. Triple Deluxe, I don't really know people's opinion on this game, but I really enjoyed it. It was kind of easier than Return to Dreamland for me, but it's a good game nonetheless. Dream Team, it's probably... yeah, it's probably my second favorite. My first is Partners in Time, to be honest. But, yeah, Dream Team, good game as well. Tomodachi Life. They should make a sequel to this one someday. Nintendogs plus Cats, I never really got into this series. I have Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii. I don't know what 3D adds, but it's there if you want. Mario Party Islands Tour. People don't seem to like this game, but I think it's one of my favorite Mario Parties. I know most people don't like modern Mario Party in general, but I like pretty much all the games in the series. I just see it as like fun for a bit. And Yoshi's New Island, I haven't heard good things about this game at all. But, yeah. I would say if you want to get Yoshi's Island, go with the first game. To be honest, because the other ones that I've played in the series, the first game is just, you know, the best of them all. WarioWare Gold, I haven't really played WarioWare all that much. Games I'll love, I'll take you up on that, let's see. Mario 3D Lands, correct about that. Mario Kart 7. Could use some more content as well as a versus mode. I don't know why that wasn't in the game to begin with, but... oh well. Donkey Kong Country Returns, I definitely enjoyed this game. On the Wii, that is. This one couldn't really say anything. Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I don't know, I couldn't ever really get into the main series Pokemon games. I like Mystery Dungeon and Pokemon Stadium, but that's about it when it comes to Pokemon. I guess the main series just isn't for me, I guess. New Leaf. Yep. Smash Bros for 3DS. Again, even though people might say this game is obsolete because of Ultimate, it's still a worthy game, and it has its own unique charm to it. As you can see, the graphics look outdated even compared to the Wii U version. But I still think the game looks pretty good for a handheld game, yeah. Oh, DLC only available in US, Canada, and Mexico. I've never really understood why that, a lot of the online content is only available in those 3 countries in the Americas. At least that's what they say. Hold on one second. But yeah, I haven't been to either of those countries or have any of their Wait, hold on. Sorry about that. I haven't been to the countries that say that are not supported online for Nintendo, so I couldn't give you any insight onto that, but what was I gonna say? Sorry, I'm also a little distracted because, you know, I'm looking at the dogs as well, looking after some pets, so my apologies for that. Well, again, couldn't really get into the mainline Pokemon games. I'll probably get around to what I was going to think about earlier, so let's just carry on for now. Mario Maker 3DS, the Wii U version is better by like all means, but this game isn't bad on the 3DS. Yeah, Pokemon Remix, never got into it. Ocarina of Time, I loved it. Mario Party, the top 100. I got that game, but it feels like it's lacking in the content department. Same thing with Mario Brothers 2. It's got a great selection of DLC courses, but if you've played the previous two games on the DS and Wii, there isn't really much new waiting for you here. Pokemon XY, I haven't got into those, of course. Zelda Majora's Mask, great game. Fire Emblem Fates. Some mixed feelings about this one, really. Story, I just didn't like. I wouldn't say I hated it as much as other people did, but it's just not my thing, honestly. But the gameplay was pretty cool. I'll give it that. The gameplay is probably the best on the 3DS, if I had to be honest. Because now enemies can pair up, so you're not annihilating everything with your own pair-up shenanigans, like in Awakening. Tomodachi Life is great. The only LEGO games that I've really played were LEGO Batman and... what was the other one? Oh yeah, LEGO Star Wars, at least the first two. On the PlayStation 2. You know, the ones where they didn't have voice acting at all. And Monster Hunter, I'm still surprised I can fit Monster Hunter on the 3DS, but it's definitely a good game worth your time. I haven't really played it, but from what I've seen, it looks cool. I think we've looked at pretty much all of the Mario, Pokemon, and Zelda major releases on the 3DS. Kirby, how many games does Kirby have on the 3DS? Battle Royale? I honestly don't remember if I have this game or not. I don't know. Maybe I have the demo, but nah. I got Blowout Blast. It's kind of like a mini Kirby game, like a light experience. Team Kirby Clash Deluxe. I finished this game in full. I thought it was pretty good. Even though many people won't like the, you know, microtransactions in the game, I could at least excuse it because at least together it was the cost of like 30-40 bucks. So it's not like I was spending endless money, or it would make me spend endless money. Because if you bought it just like a normal game, it would turn out well, but I just hate those games that have, what would you call them, unlimited microtransactions. I hate those with a passion. Kirby's Dream Course, I haven't played. That's on the SNES, right? Yeah. Planet Robobot, probably the best Kirby on the 3DS. Fighters Deluxe, I had some fun with this one. It's like a Kirby fighter. Drum Dash Deluxe, it's kind of a rhythm game, but it's not going to last very long. Ooh, the Game Boy games, I forgot about these. We should... You know what, that should be our next order of business, checking out the virtual console selections they have. Kirbys Adventure. Played that on the 25th anniversary version on the Wii, which was only available in Japan and the Americas, I believe, which had Kirbys Adventure in it. So, alright. Let me see Zelda real quick, though. Link to the Past is on here. That's cool. And there was a Hyrule Warriors on the 3DS too. Triforce Heroes, Oracle of Ages and Seasons. Those were on the Game Boy Color, right? Yeah. NES, Adventure of Link. Yeah, not that many Zelda games compared to the other ones, but all of them are worth your time. Quality over quantity for the Zelda series. Best sellers on sale. Do we have Virtual Console? Good price, new releases, DLC, demos. Free to start? That sounds like my worst nightmare, honestly. I mean, I used to tolerate it back then because I would used to only spend like a max of $5 at most for a lot of those games, except for Team Kirby Clash Deluxe, which was like, because it didn't have the unlimited things in it. Indies, 3Ds, platformers, local. Virtual Console, that's what I've been looking for. Only on new 3DS. Before we go into that, we should check this one out. Now, hold on one second. Alright, let's take... Ooh, Nintendo... What? Why do they have Nintendo Switch games on the 3DS eShop? Oh, it's just all the trailers. Man, I remember that time when the Switch was first coming out. That was a crazy time. Especially when Ultimate came out, people were losing their minds. New 3DS only. To be honest, I don't know most of these games, but by most I mean the first 3. Wow, one-star review? Dang. Tough crowd, eh? Look like fairly small games. Minecraft's on the 3DS? I never knew that. Games for toddlers? Okay. We'll wait for the top screen to fill up. Mom hid my game. I love the unique titles that you can find by searching the eShop a little bit. Fire Emblem Warriors was on the 3DS. I didn't know that either. Minecraft 3DS, as we saw before. I just gotta wait for this to load. But yeah, I don't know why these are only on new 3DS. They seem like fairly simple games to me. I don't see why the original 3DS wouldn't be able to handle these kind of... Dracula X is on the 3DS. New 3DS. I don't know why... I'm pretty sure this game can fit on the old 3DS, but I don't know. I don't know why it's only on there. Same... I guess it has to do something with the emulation. Maybe the 3DS can't emulate SNES games, but I could be wrong on that. Mega Man X3, Breath of Fire 2. I liked Breath of Fire 2, but the gameplay, the story was great, but the gameplay and the English translation was yeah, it wasn't my thing, honestly. The English translation, how do you translate fishing rod as fishing lod? At least... that's what I remember a mistranslation being like, and I was like, what the heck? Was this put through old Google Translate or something? Super Castlevania 4. Great Castlevania game. It's a bit more flexible than most Castlevania games, but it's still a great game. By flexible, I mean you can move Simon in many directions, which may or may not be better depending on your preference. I tend to like the old stiff style of movement, not the as stiff as the first Castlevania, but more in line with, what was it, Dracula X, which was slightly better, but still, stiff, yeah. Street Fighter is also on the new 3DS. New 3DS seems to do a lot of SNES games, so I guess my theory was correct on that front. the old 3DS couldn't handle SNES games. And to the last page of new 3DS exclusive titles. Super Mario Kart, great. Donkey Kong Country, I might be one of the few who prefers the first game over the second, but that's just me. I really enjoy the first Donkey Kong Country. The second one's great too, but I just clicked with the first one more. Super Mario Worlds is a solid platformer. Pilot Wings, we talked about that on the Wii U, great. F-Zero! This game needs a revival someday. F-Zero is a great racing game. That and X are the only ones I've played, but they're still, you know, great. And of course, the first new 3DS game, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. Binding of Isaac is good, but I hear it's hard, which is good for the more intense crowd out there. Only for new 3DS, unfortunately, but at least you can still view the screens through the old 3DS one. What does the update add, anyhow? Oh. Mono audio forced sound. Sound forced into mono audio. I can't say I've ever heard of that issue before. Rather strange indeed. And I think the 3DS version of Xenoblade Chronicles has all the features and more of the original Wii version, except for the Japanese voice track. Which, for people who want to hear the original voice track, might as well pick the Wii U version up. But me personally, I like the English voices. So, not too big of a loss for me. Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is one of the few games that I definitively love the dub more than the sub. For the English to Japanese version, at least. Ooh, these are the Virtual Console. We have the old Pokemon games on the Game Boy. I've heard good things about Generation 2. I hear Generation 1 is buggy, and I know it definitely is buggy. Gold and Silver are a little less buggy, but I think they still have their fair share of bugs. Trading card game, can't say I've heard of that. Oracle of Ages and Seasons, I don't really have any familiarity with them. Mario Bros. 3 is a good game. I prefer Advance 4 because of the e-reader levels, but Super Mario Bros. 3 is also definitely worth your time. Earthbound, I never got into the Mother series. I don't know. I just never really looked into it, I guess. Super Metroid is one of the best Metroidvanias of all time. Popularized the Metroidvania genre along with Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So, definitely worth it. Wario Land 3, never got into the Wario Land games, but I've seen some videos on them and they look pretty cool. Especially with how Wario gets his power-ups. Shantae, I've also heard good things about Shantae. Again, never got into it, but it's cool for platformer fans out there. Kirby's Dream Land 2, I don't remember if I've played this game or not. I remember Dreamland 1 and 3 that I vividly remember playing, but never 2. This is the one with the animal friends, right? So yeah, 3 had the animal friends too, though. But this game introduced them. Mario Bros. Deluxe, this was kind of like, a ROM hack of the first Mario Bros. Game, and I mean that in essence, not it's actually a ROM hack. But yeah. Super Mario Bros. 2, or Super Mario Bros. USA in Japan. It's Doki Doki Panic, but with the Mario characters over the original characters. Great game, though a bit different. The Mysterious Murasame Castle. This has Dang, I forget the guy's name. But the assist trophy in Smash Bros, voiced by Tomokazu Sugita. Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country 2, Donkey Kong Country 3. All of them are here for you. Game Gear games. This is one that I also never knew until recently. I didn't know Game Gear was on the 3DS. But, yeah. What? Oh, I thought it said that we were on page 1. I was like, no, we're not. Harvest Moon 3. Never got into Harvest Moon. The game that I've played that's kind of like it is Rune Factory 4, which is on the 3DS, but I played the special version on the Switch, which I liked it, but the farming aspect isn't exactly my cup of tea. Donkey Kong Land, isn't this just Donkey Kong Country but on the Game Boy, or is it separate? I know the graphics might turn some people off, because look at those, but, it's hard to make out anything on that screen, but I hear there's a good game under there. Mario Tennis was on the Game Boy Color. I remember hearing something about this, but is it really just like the original on the N64? Okay, so kind of, but not really. In essence, it's a similar game, but Donkey Kong Land 2, Sonic on the Game Gear again. Lufia is on the Virtual Console. I hear good things about the Lufia and Lufia 2, I believe. Shining Force as well. Mega Man 5. Not to be confused with the NES Mega Man 5. This is a separate series of Mega Man from the NES games. It's not a port, it's an entirely new game. Sonic Hedgehog 2 on the Game Gear. The Game Gear versions of the Sonic games, I hear, suffer from screen crunch, which is when you have a big screen put on a handheld and the camera zooms in. So you have a bigger view. Yeah, like this. When it would be a lot wider on the console version. Game & Watch Gallery, great series of games. F-Zero is back. Spanish version? Why are there separate versions for the languages? Couldn't you just change them in-game? Right. I was gonna say, because I think older games, you couldn't change the language in the settings for most of them. The older Pokemon games, at least. I assume because it would have taken up too much space on the Game Boy storage. But yeah, that's why they have separate versions. It would appear on the eShop. Gonna move somewhat quickly over here so we can get through all of the Virtual Console games. I really do miss eShop music. All of the themes are great songs. Hold on, I was just checking on my dogs. Yeah, I love all of the OST for the eShops. Because they used to change them like every couple months or so. But I looked up the Wii U one, and apparently the last time it was updated was in May of 2019, I believe. Shame that the Switch doesn't have the eShop themes anymore, as well as themes in general. By themes, I mean both the music and the wallpapers for the home screen. Final Fight. Adventures of Lolo, that's where Lolo and La 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 from Kirby got their names from, as well as inspiration, really. I didn't know Double Dragon was on the 3DS. Yep, here's the French version. I'm guessing we're not going to see the Italian or German versions, because this is the USA eShop. And you don't get to do anything in Italian or German on an American 3DS. And by American, I mean like anywhere in the Americas, North or South America. Meanwhile, if you're in Europe or Brazil and Argentina, I believe, you get access to those languages. Any region that uses the PAL format for the TV, I believe. Also, I heard that Brazil doesn't have an eShop, which is rather strange to me considering that Portuguese is a language option on PAL 3DSs, so I don't see why they would not have an eShop there. Hold on one second. Of course, that could just be a rumor that I heard, nothing more. I don't know why there would be a rumor about a country not having an eShop, though. What to do next? Let's scroll through this whole thing here. Mario Kart 7 has its own category at the top, eh? Sonic Boom. I think this one's better. This and this are better than the one on the Wii U, I've heard. Although I'm not really interested in any of the Sonic Boom games themselves. I always forget that Sonic Generations is on the 3DS. I've played it on the Xbox 360. It's a good game if the 3DS keeps the same, you know, doesn't change the game around a ton. Yeah, Sonic Lost Worlds is also on the 3DS, but I hear it's a different experience from the one on the Wii U. Metroid Samus Returns, a good remake of Metroid 2, Return of Samus. Games for kids, let me see if they put Kirby's Dream Land 3 in here. I don't think they will, because it's not a 3DS game, but... Well, it is on the new 3DS, but I mean that it's a virtual console. And I assume this is usually for Style Savvy. Saw that on the DS, on the Wii U eShop. I don't know much about that, but I think it's a dress-up game. Could be wrong, though. I'm only judging based on my very limited knowledge of some Harvest Moon. Is this, Story of Seasons Harvest Moon or the new Harvest Moon? Might as well check it out. I'm inclined to believe it's the new one because of the date 2016. I believe the change happened around... I want to say 2012, 2013, 2014, somewhere around that time range, but I could be wrong. Could be earlier, or could even be later, for all I know. It says Natsume, so... I think it is the new Harvest Moon series. The Legacy Collection for Mega Man. I've only got the Zero Collection on the PS5, because... the Mega Man Zero games are, like, one of my favorite platformers of all time. So I was glad to pay more money for that again, and I got to play Mega Man ZX and... what was the next one? ZX Advent, I think? I almost said ZX, so... but I'm pretty sure it's ZX. In Japanese, it would probably be Zetto, which is Z in Japanese, but in English it's Z because it's an American translation. But yeah, despite living in the US, I still mix up Z and Z sometimes. Probably because I have a good amount exposure to both vocalizations of the letter. But am I missing anything here? Yeah, let's rate titles, see if we need to do any of that good stuff here. Oh, wow. We've got a lot to rate, eh? Let's start with Fire Emblem Awakening. What gender is the person who spent the most time playing this title? I have to only pick one, male or female, it seems. I think it's good for both, honestly. Because you can pick an avatar of either, but... Really, I don't know, honestly. I can't pick one or the other. They're both good for this game. I'll just go with this one, because it's one of the few RPGs that you can date men in. You can't do that in Persona, so, right? It's good for the people who want to have their husbando fix, because, you know, most games have the waifu stuff. I've never really been much of a fan of either, to be honest. Romance isn't my biggest draw for a game. I wouldn't say 15, it just seems like average teenage stuff. Fire Emblem Awakening is a great game. It has the best balance of both story and gameplay quality of all the 3DS Fire Emblems, that being Fates and Echoes. Echoes has a better story at the cost of some gameplay, while Fates has a great gameplay loop, but has the story is I'll give it 4 stars. I think it appeals to everyone. Casual, it's definitely the easier of the... one of the easier Fire Emblem games. Hold on one second. I'm gonna wait for this to go. Alright, we're back. Kirby Blowout again. I don't know. You could pick both here. Oh yeah, we're also gonna have to check the reviews. I want to check the reviews to see if they have this stuff like they did with the Wii U. I'll just go with that, because I did female the last time. Age? No, 9. Okay. I'll give it 3 stars. It was okay. Everyone casual. Not exactly something that's gonna keep you down for a long time, but... Mario Sports Superstars? Nah, not 2. No, who would be the ideal age for Mario Sports Superstars? I'm just gonna go with 13. Again, it's more of a mindless, fun kind of game. It's not as good as Sports Mix, I would say, but it's kind of vanilla compared to that game, but... Okay. Team Kirby Clash Deluxe. I'm gonna say 20 for this one, because microtransactions, and you should never let a kid do, microtransactions. I mean, these ones aren't, unlimited, but thankfully uh I wasn't the type of kid to um get into the whole buy a ton of stuff kind of thing, cuz I witnessed dangers of gambling firsthand with, those crazy people spending their life savings at the casinos. Like I know it's kind of like a high they ride when they get to risk things, but I still don't understand that kind of mentality really. What game was this? Mario Maker for 3DS. Okay, about average age, I would say. It doesn't have this game doesn't have the online stuff that the Wii U version has. But it's still, so that makes it a little easier, but it's still a good game. Sorry if I don't seem as articulate today. Again, I'm focusing on other things at the moment too, so again, this question is hard to answer for the most kind of thing, because for like games like SMT or what's another male-oriented game? I don't know. SMT for males and the Atelier series for females, that's pretty easy to pick which gender. But for most of these other games that can be enjoyed by anyone, it's kind of hard to pick one or the other. I'll just pick female on this one. Again, this is not exactly, well, Star Rush I actually quite liked. Actually, let's give it 4. Kirby Planet Robobot. I'd say I'd put this at the older end, to be honest. It's still a teens game, but it's... I think I remember it being the hardest Kirby game on the 3DS. It's still everyone casual. By hard, Kirby games aren't really that hard to begin with. Unless you go to the true arena and those kinds of extra challenges, but if you stick with the main story, it's not going to give you a run for your money like SMT is. Shin Megami Tensei. I'd put this a little younger. It's not exactly as dark as Partners in Time. Hey. Whoops, did I click on something? Sorry, my dog was jumping on me. Hey, stop that. Stop it. uh, Kirby's hey, stop. I told you to stop. Kirby's Adventure anyway. I'm going to put this at 18 because I'm pretty sure most kids nowadays would think it's archaic. But Kirby's Adventure is definitely a good game to get into if you have the patience for the old school, physics, that kind of thing. This actually might be one of the harder Kirby games. It's not difficult, because I'm talking relative to the other games. I'll still give it casual because, Kirby's Dream Lands. I'll put this at 16. It's easy. It's easy for an older game, because a lot of older games were pretty difficult, but not Kirby's Dream Land. Well, if you're playing on the normal mode. There's like a hard mode, I think, that makes it a lot harder. And by a lot harder, I mean it's like old school hard difficulty. Yep. And with that, we've rated all of our titles. Now to see if they actually have that in the review section. No Blade. Because of course that's going to be the first game that I look at. No, not 2. I don't want trailers, even though I did like how you could watch trailers on the 3DS eShop. Well, let's see, I wasn't exactly paying attention to the reviews down here. Everyone... What's the point of the first 2 questions, then? Gender and age, if they're not going to show it. Yeah. I guess the Nintendo thought it was obsolete because they did away with it as soon as the Wii U turned around. I forgot they had those questions. But it is kind of strange, though, because a lot of these games can be enjoyed by all genders and ages. So it's like... You telling me to pick one age and one gender? But in any case... Let's see if we still have a little more to go through, because I'm less familiar with 3DS eShop compared to the Wii U. So, and the 3DS just has infinitely more content on it than the Wii U. Which is kind of sad, but that's the truth, because the Wii U was a flop. As much as I love the console, it flopped hard. 13 million copies in lifetime sales. The 3DS had over 70 million. But yeah, let's check out best sellers. Pokemon Bank is a bestseller? I shouldn't be surprised because it's Pokemon, but isn't that just like a storage thing? I suppose that's why it's a bestseller. More like best download, because I don't think it's free. It says it has in-game purchases, which doesn't inspire confidence in me. But hopefully it ain't too bad there. Ace Attorney Trilogy and Spirit of Justice. I love Ace Attorney, honestly. It's a great visual novel entry point. And I just love visual novels in general, so especially the story-based ones like Ace Attorney, so yeah. Dual Destinies, another good game, and they're all for very cheap now, at $3. $3 for them. Same with Apollo Justice. That was New 3DS, okay. Oh, Nintendo 3DS, okay. I thought it said New 3DS download only. The sale ends on the 29th, even though the 3DS eShop shuts down on the 27th. Rumble Worlds. I only played Rumble U, but I think Rumble Worlds is similar. Shovel Knight is a good indie game. Practically was the face of indie games back in when the Wii U and 3DS were in their early stages. Oh yeah, I spent like $5 on this game, I think. That's what I would like to say, I think, even though it's free. Maybe it was more around 10 because I wanted to get a ton of the Mario badges for my home screen, but yeah, nowadays I just don't have the patience for those kinds of games. I'd rather just pay for the full package and get everything later. Swap Doodle. I have Swap Note, but not Swap Doodle, so I couldn't tell you the difference between the two. Monster Hunter Generations. If you would load. Okay, there we go. Rusty's Real Deal Baseball. I heard this has a mechanic where it makes you like pay $4 for in-game purchases, but if you haggle and take time, it lowers it. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that kind of thing, because you could have an unsuspecting and honest player just say, okay, I'll pay the $4 for this game, and then they get, pretty much scammed out of their money. But our RPG Maker, FES, I've heard this game is kind of like an RPG Maker in the thing where you can make your own RPG and basically download other people's things. I don't know if this is available on any other console, but I hope it is, because it's such a good concept for a game. I know RPG Maker is also on... It's on PC as well, but I don't think there's a console equivalent. Or I should say main console, because, handheld or console equivalent that it doesn't include PC or the Steam Deck. Street Fighter 4 is here. It's discounted. I've played the Xbox 360 version, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than Street Fighter 5, in my honest opinion. But I don't know what the 3DS version adds or takes away. I don't know. Gurumin is Nihon Falcom game. I've heard good things about it, even though I never really, got into it. I have this one on the Wii U. I didn't know they had a 3DS version. It's an game. If you have Amiibo, it's cool, but if you don't, there's not really much for you there. Steel Diver is a submarine simulation. Photos with Mario, I bought the AR cards, so I quite liked it. Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix is a great game. It combines all the previous Rhythm Heaven games into one. And I love Rhythm Heaven, so I should get into WarioWare. WarioWare is, in essence, a similar thing, so should take a look at that. Shantae, I hear, is good things. I hear good things about Shantae, so... Recent arrivals. I overlooked this one. New software. Let's take a look, shall we? Silver Falls, the final games. Yep. There we go. 3DS. 3Ds. I like how they did that, the acronym thing with it. Fragrant Story. Yeah, I heard about this game. Is that $3? Was it $3? But yeah, it was $3 for like 3 minutes of gameplay. And it was like, oh, we'll make more in an update coming soon. Which means never nowadays, apparently. But, yeah, I don't know when they're gonna release it, so I would hold out on that for now. Oh yeah, here's the story essence. But yeah, the 3DS most definitely has a bigger selection of games to choose from the Wii U version. Which makes sense because it was just a more successful console in general. Or I should say system. Because when I say console, I'm usually referring to home console. As in you plug it in, and it's not a handheld. Let's say recent ratings. I didn't check the charts on the Wii U, unfortunately, but I think it's the same thing. Ooh, Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix is getting up there. Good to see. SMT4. I've only seen SMT3 and SMT5. So I couldn't tell you about 4. And honestly, I don't remember too much about them. But when I say seen, I haven't played through either of them, but I've seen walkthroughs on them. They're pretty cool games. Stella Glow is I hear it's a good RPG, but it's also a harem game, kind of, I think. I think that's what it is. It's a romance game. I've never been into those. I don't mind it when it's there, but I've never been one to, you know, get involved in that kind of thing. So, if you're into that kind of thing, that's a great RPG for you. Monster Hunter 4. Great. The English versions here. Kid Icarus Uprising. I had this game before, but I had to delete it off of my 3DS after completing it because I needed the space on my 3DS. I still regret that decision because this game is most definitely one of the best 3DS games. I know some people say the controls are a little obtuse, but it's still... Conquest beats out all the other Fire Emblems. I assume that's because Conquest has the best gameplay of the three. So, and Fates is only really good for its gameplay, so at least that's the general consensus. I didn't like the story, but I didn't hate it either. That's just me. Oh yeah, Stella Glow has some good music too, from Yasunori Mitsuda. So, that's actually how I found out about the game. Checked it out, it wasn't my thing, but it's a good game, nonetheless. What next? What shall we do next? I think we checked this whole front thing for the most part. I mean, most of this top section. Let's see games on sale. Hold on after this loads for 1 second. Okay, yes, as you can see, the Ace Attorney games are all on sale. Shovel Knight, Mega Man Legacy, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, Gurumin, Resident Evil, Shantae. Yeah, we've seen most of these in other places. This one's good for $3. Yeah. Cooking Mama is another one that I've never, you know... I'm pretty sure there was one on the DS, right? I don't know if it had an English translation, but, definitely worth checking out, I think. For some cooking fun. I don't know too much about it. This is an update, I just saw this. Or is this a, Or is this DLC? There's Cold Sep on the third one. Yep. It's kind of like a board game RPG kind of thing. Hard to explain, really. Might as well scour the whole, you know, of the sale section. Just to see what they have to offer. A lot of those RPGs, I assume, with that art style, reminds me of Agarest. I believe that's what it's called. I only know of that game because I liked the main character's design and looked it up. But I don't know too much about it. I hear it's a harem game. I think. Or at least, when I say harem game, I mean it has, like, romance aspects to it. You know, like, Persona, Rune Factory, that kind of thing. Not that you have to deal with a harem throughout the whole thing. Yeah, this is a tactical RPG, right? I looked at this one because the name reminded me. Looks like the game. I can't speak. I can't speak. The game. Title looks like Latin, so I thought that was cool. I've always liked the Latin language. Whoops, I should probably wait for those top things to load before heading on ahead. Wait, why, 8:59 Pacific time on the sale end date? Why that time specifically? I assume there must be some sort of reason behind that specific time. Yikes, that's a low score. I think I took note of that earlier. But it's not often you see 1-star rated games, even though a lot of people love to hand out those scores because they think it's funny or they're trolls or they just really hate that game that much. But yeah, it's rare to see games rated below 4 stars, honestly. Or I should say just 3 stars, because I've seen some 3-star games. I mean, Metroid Other M was rated 4 stars on the Wii U eShop, if I'm remembering correctly, so there's that. Games at a good price. Let's take a look at that. And I think Otosan, Nintendo 3DS edition. I assume that's like a father simulator, right? See, these are mostly games we've seen before. Alright. Games with, demos. Demos are gonna be gone when the eShop is gone as well, so we might as well take a look through. WarioWare Gold had a demo? I didn't know that. Radiant Historia has a demo. I didn't know that either. Also, let me check the reviews on this, because, yeah, Radiant Historia is definitely one of the best 3DS games. Yeah, look at those nice reviews. What do people say? Gamers intense play for the most part. I would agree too with that. I wouldn't say it's as intense as, you know, Shin Megami Tensei games, but still got its fair share. Oh, yeah, Miitopia. That's on the Nintendo Switch. Honestly, I'm not too knowledgeable on what the Nintendo Switch added, but the 3DS version is here for you to pick up too, even if just for memorabilia purposes. Ever Oasis, I hear good things about this game. Yeah, I remember first seeing the trailer for this game way back when. That was a while ago, eh? Blaster Master Zero looks like Zero from Mega Man. Or at least that's the kind of feeling I get. Maybe it's like Azure Striker Gunvolt that way, where it harkens back to those old Mega Man games. Federation Force, Blast Ball. People don't like Federation Force that much. It's probably because it's finally new Metroid game, but it's a spin-off. But I hear it's a decent game, disregarding the fact that it is a... Ooh, there's a free theme with purchase. Honestly, I don't remember many games doing that with their eShop purchases, so that's pretty unique. We'll go through this page, and then we'll head back. Oh, is this like... Yeah, this is like the panorama view, right? Of the Wii U. Except it's a Kyoto rail sim. I heard they actually went through Kyoto to actually film the travels in the game, so I thought that was pretty cool. Another rail sim, this time in the suburbs. Oh yeah, Puzzles and Dragons Z and the Super Mario Bros. Edition. Great games, I would say. Whoopsies. Hey, don't grab that. My dog almost tried to eat my stylus. I mean. Okay. But yeah, I quite enjoyed this game. I only played the Super Mario Bros. Edition, not Z, but, you know. Codename Steam. I hear good things about Codename Steam. I hear it's like a I heard someone compare it to Valkyria Chronicles, I think. I think it's kind of like that. I don't know too much about it. But I've definitely played Valkyria Chronicles, so if it's anything like that game, it's good. I've only played the first Valkyria, though. No, let's go for one more page. Okay, Faerun. I assume these are taking care of kids simulators. Battle Miner. Ooh, Smash Bros. Again. Nice to see. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting this had a demo. Although in the demo you only had like 5 characters, and the only stage was Battlefield. Unfortunately. But I still remember playing the demo a lot. Clone Phantasma. I love the BlazBlue main games, but the spin-offs I didn't get into. And Parking Star 3D. You know what? Let's see this journey out to its end. Of all the games with demos. Mario Golf World Tour I thought was also a great game. I still think the N64 Mario Golf is the best of the bunch. Hold on 1 second. Okay, we're back. Bravely Default. I didn't know that had a demo either. Personally, I prefer Bravely Second. I think I'm in the minority when I say that, but I love the first game as well. The first game was actually one of the, well, both Bravely Default and Second were 2 of the first games that I went through completely blind. Because usually I like to look up stuff beforehand when I, play games, and that might include the final boss, etc., etc. I've never been a huge avoider of spoilers, but that was the first game. Those were the first 2 games that I played without going in Those were the first two games that I played in going completely blind into it. So, and it was a fun experience for sure. It was definitely unlike, you know, checking stuff up before. What? Lords of Shadow. I don't think you can fit that game on the 3DS, but I assume this is a spin-off of some sort. Etrian and Odyssey are good first-person dungeons, but I'm personally not a fan of first-person dungeon crawlers. Brain Age is here. Fire Emblem Awakening is also here as well. Good game, but if you don't have the DLC, you better scramble or find other methods to get the DLC, because that's about going away soon. Kingdom Hearts. I've played Kingdom Hearts 2, but that's about it. Honestly, I couldn't get into the series in full by itself. Like, I couldn't play the entire series. I just like Kingdom Hearts 2, but it's a good series, especially if you're both a Disney and Square Enix fan, because both are present there. Mutant Muds and Pyramids. Alright. Have we got anything? Free to start. Let's not check that one out. I swear, anytime I hear free to start nowadays, that just makes me avoid the games. Because I've seen that done not in a good way. I've seen it done poorly way too many times. Liberation Maiden. I hear great things about this game. It reminds me of Star Fox, really. Made by Level 5. It's definitely worth your time, I would say. Cave Stories on the 3DS. I didn't know that as either. Story of Seasons. I assume this was the first Harvest Moon game with that label. 2015. Okay, so my time frame was a little earlier, but it was about correct, I think. Ooh, there's Rune Factory 4. Oh, yeah. I played this for the Switch one, and although I couldn't get into the farming thing, this game was just so fun. It was a blast from beginning to end. I married Leon on my playthrough, just because I think his design is the best of the bunch. And again, one of the few RPGs where you can date men, which is great for those who want to get into the husbandos, not just the waifus. Oh yeah, I also think the original Rune Factory 4 on the 3DS is about the same as Special, disregarding some extra scenarios between the love interests and the protagonist, which personally I ignored because although I like the romance arcs, what's the word for it? I wasn't invested enough to, look after that extra, kind of thing, because, again, romance isn't romance I like, but it's not what... Dang, I'm having a hard time putting it into words. It's just not the thing that I like to focus on when it comes to games for the most part. My favorite part of Rune Factory 4 was getting absolutely destroyed in every new dungeon and having to craft new weapons just to survive a little bit. That was my favorite part. But yeah, great game all around. And 15 is the last game on the list. Let's take a look at 3D games, because this is a unique setting. And then after this, I think we'll call it a day. And head on out. Party guest? Is this a way of saying demo? Okay, yeah, it's more of the more of just the games that we've seen elsewhere, because 3D, I assume that means you can flick this on and, you know, see it through that lens. But let's check up Super Smash Brothers. Before we leave, I want to see the reviews for that one. Whoops. I remember this trailer. Everyone freaked out over this trailer. The Switch one. This is the update. I don't know what they added in the update. I do remember downloading this. Also, if you're missing DLC on either 3DS or Wii U, now's your chance. I bought the DLC for 3DS earlier this year, but I had the Wii U DLC long before that. What is this update for? Okay, it doesn't tell you here. I assume you could check the patch notes for 1.1.7, but yeah. Let's get into that. All the character trailers. Smash Controller. Yep, where you could play the 3DS on the Wii U. And it's making me scroll all the way through just to see Smash Brothers for the 3DS. There we go. The final video presentation. Fond memories of those times. Yeah, look at those reviews. It's always weird to me how 1-star reviews always have more people that say that than 2-star reviews. Probably because the most reviews anybody gives a game is either 5, maybe 4, or 1. At least that's what I see. Most people don't really go for the middle numbers all that much, as far as I know. It's a bit more common on, 5-star ratings, but in, games out of 10, you almost never see any games rated 6, 5, or 4 out of 10. It's either, 10, 9, 8, and then 1. At least from my personal experience. Yeah, it's about 50-50 even split for this one, just 8% difference, and a 14% difference on this one, more intense play. I think Smash 3DS is easier to pick up than Brawl and Melee is, so I don't know why they put intense play down there. But, yeah. that's about it for the Nintendo 3DS eShop. Whew, spent a lot more time on that one, both because I'm much less familiar with the 3DS eShop than I am with the Wii U eShop, and just because the 3DS has more games on it. But, time to say our final goodbyes. 3DS eShop, rest in peace. Probably have to exit with the home menu here. And yep, just about does it. What was there to say, really? Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and make sure you've got your eye on those 3DS and Wii U games, because they'll be gone before you know it. Only a couple of days now, so keep an eye out for that. And I'll see you around. Have a good day.